Hello everybody, welcome to our channel, and today I'd like to tell you about how to make carp niche. It's used for fishing without nozzle. It's when your bait cleans on an additional hair. So it's going to be better in fishing. For making the easiest niche, we need hooks, stoppers, a knitting material. It can be with or without braid. We have already been talking about kinds of knitting material in one of our previous videos. So also we need thermal shrink tube and ironer and a silicone tube. Let's talk a little bit about hooks. We have just the usual one, it's standard hook for carp catching. So you see, this is just the usual one. So the second one is non-sheen. This hook is a little bit longer than the previous one. You can see it right here. And the last group of hooks named banana, because they look like banana, you can see it. So they really look like banana, and they are much better for fishing and catching carps. It will help you in your fishing to get more catch. In the beginning, we're going to talk about how to make a niche on our usual hook. It's gonna be the easiest one. For making this niche, we need just a usual hook. Also, we need knitting material. It can be with or without braid. We'll need stoppers. We'll need thermal shrink tube or ironer, and of course some tools for doing it. So let's start. Take your knitting material. If you can't afford an expensive and high quality knitting material, you can just buy a usual one. It's not so important to use the most expensive knitting material possible. So take some knitting material, and we need to make a noose. So first we fold it in half, and then we're doing noose. So you can see it right here, like we're doing noose. We need to tighten these noose. So we need to do it as small as possible. This tool will help us to do it, you can see. So we've done a nozzle, and this nozzle is quite small. Just cut the tail off. So we've got this little noose on the end of our material. Then cut necessary amount of our knitting material. It depends on your fishing conditions, because it depends on the area you're going to fishing in. Almost every fisherman cut different length of the knitting material. So we've got a piece of a knitted material with a noose in the end of it. Take a hook, then tighten this material. Just do it this way, you can see it. Do it only this way. So we put it through our ring on our hook. And then we need to stop here. So we've got this hair. I think I've got a question. What length has the hair to be? The length of the hair depends on your bait. How much bait you're going to use. If you want to use bait like this, so you need length almost like this. If you're going to use more and more bait, you need more and more length. But I don't think that you will need too much bait. It's not so important. So take your bait, put it through our hair, make a stopper, and then tighten the hair until almost this distance. So our nozzle have to just be free. It doesn't have to touch our hook so much. So overall it depends as much nozzle you're going to use, as much bait you need. If you took this bait, you need not too much. Now we're going to need our noodle. This is without noodle. Now you can see. We need to reel our knitted material on our hook. We need almost 10 or 12 turnovers. You need to reel it against this fin on the hook that can cut it. So we're doing this way, we're doing it against ourselves. It has to be quite tightly. Then tie it. Now we need one turnover against previous one and put it through the ring of our hook. So we've got this winning. It's the easiest way of making leash. So in the end of our fishing line, we need to make a noose. Can be just the usual one. Just cut the tail off. So we've got a leash for fishing carps. Our bait is holding on the hook. But there are some things you need to consider. Some people complain that their bait is cut away and their fishing material, their knitted material can't just cut out. Why to do that? If it just cut off when you've got the most biggest fish, just cut off and you lose everything and the fish just swim away. Now we're going to talk about what to do for it not to happen. So as for me, I use thermal shrink tube. We need to put it on our hook and on our winning. So instead of thermal shrink tube, we can use ironer. The fixtures are the same. It protects our weaning from any cuttings. So we need to make a good angle, a necessary angle. This angle looks this way. Our thermal shrink put on our knitted material. Then we are making it here. After it, you need to put it under boiling water, and this you're going to crunch, and you will get this angle. As for me, thermal shrink is better because it's much easier than ironer, and you can find ironer in every fashion shop. Now I'm going to show you how to use ironer. We need to put it on our tool this way. Then put it on our nose and move until our hook. Then put it on our weaning. This ironer gives necessary bend to our fishing, to our leash. So it's going to be much better to fish carps this way, to catch them this way. It was the easiest way of making carp leash. Most of people use this one. Now I'm going to show you how to mount a leash on a long hook. So we need to take some knitted material. We need to fold in a half. Then we need to make another big noose. It is only for stopper. The noose is going to be hidden. So cut the tail off. We need to cut the necessary length and the most important moment. This hole is longer than the previous one. So our hair is going to be too much, and we need to consider it. We're going to fix it with help of silicone tube. I'm going to show you how to do it. You need to cut a part of the silicone tube. It's going to be about 3 millimeters. You need to put a knitted material through the tube, through our silicone tube. You can see it. We need to do it this way. We need to get it to our noose, then take a hook, and we need to do it only this way. The direction of a hook has to be this one. You need to consider it. So we're doing it this way. You can see. Try not to spoil our material. Now, our hair is quite fixed. So you need to choose length of bait. It depends on your bait, and it depends also on your nozzle. So now there is a way of making a uni hair. If you'd like to know about this method, we will tell you about it a little bit later, maybe in the next video. Or so now we need to put knitted material through our ring, and we need to wheel it, and our turns over are going to be a little bit more. It has to be about 15, maybe 12, from 12 to 15. Then put it back, and now we've done it. We've almost done it. In the end of it, we need to make a noose. So we've done that. And we need to tighten it with help of your tool and just cut the tail off. We don't need it. Now we've got this leash. Our non-sheen is almost ready. And our knitted material is going through our silicone tube, and our hair is fixed quite good. It's going to be very convenient because we have a silicone tube here. Everything is good. If we wouldn't have this silicone tube, our bait would just run off, and we wouldn't ever catch anything. So this rubber is very useful. There are some other variants of making this hair, but we'll talk about it in the next video. Maybe not next, just a little bit later. So like in the first variant, we need to use a thermal shrink tube. Then you need to hold it under the steam, under the boiling water, or we can use the adder. This thermal shrink protects our weaning. It also gives the necessary angle and the necessary bend. It really helps us in fishing and catching fish. There is a big friction of it. Without this angle, our hook is gonna be bad and not so useful as it's now. You can just use adder and thermal shrink and choose what's better for you. So some of the fishermen doesn't use this thermal shrink though, or doesn't use adder though. So the last one is Banana's hook. They does absolutely the same as the previous one. So we need to do absolutely the same. In the next video, I will tell you how to make a hair with a change in length, and I'll tell you one interesting secret. Just watch that video and don't forget about it. Subscribe on our channel. I hope this video will be useful for you, for masters of fishing and for only beginners, because it was quite useful. We've done some useful niche. I hope you remembered it, and we used different hooks. So try to use quality material. Don't save money on it because it really helps us to get more catch. And also one interesting thing is that I don't advise you to keep your hooks together because they can rebait each other and they will use their accuracy. It's quite important. And also check your leash before fishing and after it, because sometimes it can have a very big fiction. You can just lose a big catch because you haven't checked it. Though that's quite important thing to do. Check it. And don't put all your niches together too, because they have hooks and they can rebait each other, as we've already told. So thank you for watching this video. Don't subscribe on our channel. Make us like. Goodbye.